let me talk about reason number one, why permissive policies inadvertently encourage homelessness to thrive, okay? We're no longer enforcing existing vagrancy laws. And the reason why we're supposedly not enforcing the existing vagrancy laws is the Martin versus Boise court ruling. And this court ruling prohibits cities from enforcing anti-camping ordinances if they do not have enough homeless shelter beds available for their homeless population. You don't have enough shelter beds, you can't enforce your vagrancy laws, okay? However, Bob Day, who was the former deputy chief of police for the Portland City Police Department, says that prior to COVID, the police were enforcing existing vagrancy laws without violating this court ruling. So not enforcing the existing vagrancy laws is a policy decision. It is not as a result of trying to comply with this court ruling. Number two, lack of prosecuting property crimes. As everyone in this room knows, our law enforcement system is badly broken in the Portland area. In 2020, Portland was racked with 100 consecutive days of street protests in response to the murder of George Floyd. And as a result, police officers retired in droves. I mean, can you blame them? I certainly can't. Portland Police Department is now critically below the necessary staffing level to maintain law and order. And this has resulted in focusing on prosecuting only the most egregious types of crimes like homicide and aggravated assault. Prosecuting property crimes is a much lower priority. The lack of prosecution encourages the fencing of stolen goods, which supports an addict's habit. They know there's a little chance of jail time in the unlikely case they get caught. But there are consequences to doing this. And as a result of our policy not to prosecute property crimes, Walmart just announced that they're closing their last 2 stores in Portland. Number 3, ballot measure 110, decriminalize possession of hard drugs like meth and heroin and cocaine. In September of last year, after about 18 months of this particular measure being enforced, the Oregon Health Authority admitted that the new law had failed, which has actually encouraged more drug usage by addicts living on the street. And I believe Measure 110 should be repealed. Number 4, opposing the use of coercion to encourage addicted to seek treatment. There used to be a drug court in Portland, and there still is in Washington County. Offenders would go before a judge, and the judge would give them one of 2 options. You have a choice. You can either seek treatment, or you can go to jail. You choose. And the use of coercion, in this case jail time, helped the addicted to make the right decision. We no longer have a drug court. This needs to change. And finally, opposing the involuntary treatment of the mentally ill. It is virtually impossible to treat the mentally ill without their consent, even though it's in their best interest to do so. Their individual rights supersede the rights of everyone else, and this needs to change. So these are the 5 policies, there are probably more, but these are the 5 policies that inadvertently encourage the homeless crisis to flourish in Portland.